we gave up, and obviously have to do a much better job on that. Coaching, execution, everything. Just we can't. We've got to eliminate those. Otherwise, it's a pretty competitive game from a yardage standpoint and all that. Our turnovers are a problem, and again, that's something that we have to do a better job of, and just in general, playing better all around football. There's some positive things to build on, but plenty of things to work on, and that's what we'll do is look at the game, identify the things that we did well, try to keep doing those well, and things we need to improve on, we need to work harder to improve on. So, no update on Mac. We'll see how he is today. But he came back with us, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that's about the news from yesterday.
We'll open with questions. We'll start with Andrew Callahan, followed by Mike Reese.
Bill, I know you said no update on Mac. We didn't have anything from you yesterday on that. It was reported his X-rays were negative. Does that mean that's the entirety of your understanding about the severity of his injury?
Yeah, like I said, we'll take a look at it today. It has nothing to do with Mac, just in general. Where players are immediately after the game and where they are, let's call it 18 hours after the game, is often quite different. I know everybody's hungry for an up-to-the-second update, but honestly, the best way to handle these situations is always to give it a little time, see what happens, run whatever tests or analysis need to be run, and then go from there. And so that's what we always do. That's what we're going to do in this case. That's what we're going to do in every other case with every other injury, unless something is more clear-cut or obvious in a very short period of time, which sometimes it is, but that's why we have these medical procedures, and we're going to use them. So it'll be that way with just about everybody. I'm sure there'll be a couple of examples, maybe a broken bone or something that shows up on an x-ray right away. That's a little bit different. But other injuries or potential injuries are evaluated much more thoroughly on the day after when there's just a lot more information.
We're going to speak to him a little bit later, it sounds like, so perhaps he'll know best. But were you aware at any point in the game if and when he suffered this back injury?
Yeah, we're aware of anything that's reported.
Okay, next question, Mike Reese, followed by Chris Ryan.
Bill, on the strip sack that they returned for the touchdown, what contributed to the free rusher there?
We didn't block him. Yeah, we had enough people to block him, and we just didn't get it handled right. Obviously.
Is that communication before the snap or more after the snap when the safety comes down?
Yeah, it's execution. It's execution.
How would you characterize the overall pass protection?
Well, yeah, again, there were a lot of plays that there was no issue on the rush. There was some plays where there was, but obviously we had two plays where we had enough people to block the rushers, didn't block them, and got hit. So we need to eliminate those. So we shouldn't have any of those.
Next question, Chris Ryan, followed by Zach Cox.
Morning, Bill. In regard to the run game, how would you categorize the consistency or inconsistency there and your general sense as to what you've got production-wise?
I thought there was some consistency in the running game. Like everything else, it could be better. But That's a pretty good run front. I thought we, had some openings inside and outside, but certainly room for improvement, and we'll keep doing that. But I thought overall it was competitive.
And on Kyle Duggar, his trajectory as a player and also his tackling ability, how well has he done in that area, and how is that kind of shown in the Miami game?
I think overall Kyle's one of our better and stronger tacklers. Look, anybody that plays an NFL game is going to have plays that they would like to have back or do a little bit differently. On the touchdown, there was a couple things that could have happened better on that play. So hopefully all of us can coach and execute a little bit better so that doesn't happen. That play was certainly, the result of that was preventable. So we have to do it.
Thanks.
Next question, Zach Cox, followed by Kyrie Thompson.
Morning, Bill. How would you evaluate the way the tight ends performed yesterday? We saw Hunter and John on the field together a lot.
Yeah, I think the game is probably about the same for just about all of us that participated in the game. There were some positive things. There's certainly things we could all do better, things we need to work together better on as units or combinations or as a team, however it varies, but there's all things that we can do better. There were a lot of positive things in the game, but we need to eliminate some of the bad things that happened and be a little bit better on some of the things and take advantage of some of the opportunities that we had to make some plays that would have changed the game. And we just unfortunately weren't able to make them, but I'm sure if we keep working and just do a few things better, do a few little things better, do a few big things better, that we'll be better. So that's what we're going to do.
Next question, Kyrie Thompson, followed by Michael Hurley.
Coach, you mentioned a couple of times that September is sort of an extension of the preseason as things start getting ramped up. How much patience do you feel you need to have, the coaching staff needs to have as players get into the feel for the regular season? And how much would you say some of what happened yesterday was a result of still needing to, again, get into the swing of things, work on fundamentals, and just, get back into regular season football?
Well, it's the same for all 32 teams, so it's no different here than it is anywhere else. No teams that played a regular season game until this weekend. I'm sure everybody will learn from these games and get better and improve, and it's really the rate that happens. So it's not like we're sitting around waiting for the hands on the clock to turn, but try to get better every day. We saw some things that showed up in the regular season game that obviously didn't show up in preseason because it was a different level of competition, and we'll learn from those and we'll work on those and we'll improve those. But it's a race against time. Everybody's trying to improve quickly and have a good record in the early part of the season and get stronger as the year goes on. So that's the National Football League. It's the same thing for everybody.
Thank you.
We have three final questions. We'll start with Michael Hurley, followed by Andrew Callahan.
Morning, morning, Bill. You mentioned the two big plays that swayed the game in a big way. Would you categorize the end zone interception in that group too? I don't know how you value the turnover in the end zone as taking points off the board or anything like that. If that would be one of those plays.
Well, it was a big play in the game, but it wasn't a 7-point play like the other two were.
And is that a play, the design or the goal? Is it more to have Devontae have a chance to go up and get it than he had in the game?
It was a close play. Howard made a good play on the ball, and then it ended up, which most of those end up on the ground, and that one ended up, back up in the air, and Holland came over and got it. So it's a good play on their part. Kind of went their way. Holland made a good play on the ball, ran it back to the 20-yard line, whatever it was. So could we execute it a little bit better? I mean, sure.
Last two questions will be Andrew Callahan and Dakota Ringo.
Bill, I wanted to ask you about Anthony Jennings being inactive today. I know Jelani plays in all 4 units in special teams. Was that the decision or the reason he might have played over Anthony? Just understanding we saw him a lot, starting at least when you were base defense in practice, and often usually replacing Matt Judon in practice.
Right. Well, practice and preseason games are two different things. Regular season, you can only activate so many players. You activate the ones that you think will give your team the best opportunity as a total team to win. So that's what we did. That's what we'll continue to do. That's the way it'll always be.
And last question, Dakota Ringo.
Hey, Bill. First, just a question on the end zone interception. Did you think there was a penalty on that play? It looked like there was grabbing on both sides.
Yeah. I think if you have any questions about the officials or the calls, you should talk to the officials that made the call. I mean, that's really the only person's opinion that matters.
Okay. And just one quick question about the Steelers. Any early thoughts on facing them? Obviously, they have a different quarterback back there than we're used to seeing.
Well, we'll dig into them after we finish up this game, but obviously a big win, on the road against the Bengals, a good team. So home opener in Pittsburgh, I'm sure that there'll be a lot of energy in the stadium, and they'll be ready to go.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.